There is a kind of poor that teaches you something rich people never learn. Not the poverty that breaks you, the poverty that makes you generous anyway. Most people think you need enough before you can give anything away. But some of the most important lessons in your life were taught by someone who had nothing and gave half of it to a stranger. This is one of those stories. And by the end of it, you will understand why the smallest coin in this story is worth more than every result that came after it.
His name was Daniel. He was 9 years old. His family sold vegetables from a small wooden cart at the edge of the bazaar. Some days they sold everything. Most days they came home with half the cart still full, and his mother would quietly recalculate what they could afford for dinner. Daniel's job, every Friday, was to walk to the market alone and buy flour with the only coin his father could spare that week. 1 coin. That was the whole week's flour budget. He knew the weight of that coin in his pocket better than he knew anything else in his life.
On his way to the market one Friday, Daniel saw an old man sitting outside the mosque. Thin, shaking slightly, a small empty bowl in front of him. People walked past him all morning. Nobody stopped. Daniel stopped. He looked at the old man. He looked at the coin in his hand. He did the math a 9-year-old does. Not really math, just a feeling. He needs this more than we do today. He placed the coin in the bowl. The old man looked up at him, surprised, and said only one sentence. "You will not go hungry for this, son. Remember that." Daniel walked home with empty hands and an empty pocket. He did not know how he would explain it to his mother. His mother did not shout when he told her. She just went very quiet. She looked at the empty cart. She looked at her son's face. Not guilty exactly, just uncertain, the way children are when they've done something they believe was right but cannot defend with words yet. "We will manage," she said. But her voice had a thinness to it that Daniel had never heard before. That night, dinner was smaller than usual. Nobody complained. Nobody mentioned the coin again. Daniel lay awake, turning the old man's sentence over in his mind. "You will not go hungry for this." He didn't understand it. He just held on to it, the way you hold on to something you're not sure is true, but want to be. The next morning, his grandmother, visiting that week, told him something he had never heard before. "When I was your age," she said, "your great-grandfather did the exact same thing. Gave his last coin to a traveler on the road. My mother was furious. We had nothing that week." Daniel sat up. What happened? 3 days later, a merchant passed through our village. He had lost his way and needed someone to guide his caravan to the next town. He chose your great-grandfather. A stranger had told him, days earlier, that there was a generous family near that mosque. He paid him more in 1 afternoon than we had earned in 2 months. Daniel stared at her. Was it the same man? The one he helped? His grandmother smiled. No one ever found out, but it never mattered. The coin was never really about the coin. 3 days after Daniel gave away the coin, a man came to their vegetable cart. Well-dressed, unfamiliar, clearly not from their part of the city. He didn't haggle. He bought every single vegetable on the cart, all of it, and paid double what it was worth. As he walked away, Daniel's father asked him why. The man paused. "Someone outside the mosque told me this family deserved good business this week. I don't know why, I just believed him." Daniel's father turned to look for the old man. He was gone. No one had seen him since that Friday. Daniel said nothing. He just felt the same small, quiet feeling in his chest that he'd felt 3 days earlier when he placed the coin in the bowl. He had not understood the old man's sentence. He understood it now. People will tell you that generosity is something you do once you have enough. This story says the opposite. Generosity is not what's left over after your needs are met. It's a decision you make before you know if you can afford it. Daniel never met that old man again. He never found out who he was. But he learned at 9 years old something most people spend their whole lives trying to understand. What you give away with an open hand rarely disappears. It just finds its way back to you wearing a different face. That car is gone now. Daniel is grown with a family of his own. But every Friday, without fail, he still carries one extra coin in his pocket, just in case someone needs it more than he does that day. If this story stayed with you, you know what to do with it. We'll see you in the next one.